gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to ESR Prosciutto Sunday. Oh, sorry, wrong cured meat. Spec Sundays. And we will be joined on commentary by the Magus, the Mio, the Michael.
Hello.
And
Merry, whatever the fuck you celebrate.
Correct. Merry diurnal progression. And with us as well, future Hall of Fame play-by-play guy, Justin Kretzen. What up?
Happy Festivus for the rest of us, ladies and gentlemen.
The Festivus airing some grievances.
Dang.
Mostly, what is Martin doing right now? That's my grievance.
Drinking.
I think that was, I don't have enough time for a quali lap, and I botched this one, so exiting track?
Just kind of, oh, that can't be a legal lap.
I'll allow it.
Oh, no, clock is still running. I guess that is a legal line through that turn. I'm a little surprised by that.
Pretty
much four wheels off.
A little disappointed every time we do this track because there's a distinct lack of cats here at the port of Meow.
You know, I have zero grievances with this statement.
I mean, if we get a good shot with the helicopter cam, you will see the various wine vineyards that surround the track.
Well, I mean, I'm more encouraged now.
I do enjoy wine.
Looks like we are going to have Richard DeRoche on pole ahead of Max Simmons, who comes across the line now and does not improve his lap time, so I think we can safely assume Mr. DeRoche's got it. Martin Edmonds, James Butler, Magnus Sternby, Magnus.
Oh, Magnus is back. What up?
Wayne Medeiros, Javi P, Robert Waddell, Lucky Chop, and Justin Kratz.
And there is one more in the field, but I'm guessing they didn't set a time. We had a late entrant. I'm blanking on who it is, but we'll see soon enough.
That'll be whoever is starting in 11th place.
How do you know that?
Because they're at the back.
3 plus 1 equals 2. Quick maths.
I don't even know if that's really math. That's just more like counting numbers. Basic numeration.
That is what you are the arithmeticist.
I mean, I went to the poor elementary school, so.
I mean, I did not go to much of an elementary school either. We didn't have walls, man. There were no walls.
Was it a
water books? We had Apple IIs or something.
Michael was educated in a gazebo.
I believe that. He's a botanist, actually.
I was educated on how to destroy a gazebo.
Neat.
That sounds like fun.
It is Mr. Castro. There we are.
The Castro Syntec? Is that the... No? Okay.
He really should be in the Castro car, but he's not. Here we go. We are off, and not so many Red Bulls this time, although still 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And Magnus Sternby is one of them, and he's trying to make a run on Max Simons, who got off to a pretty terrible start there. I do have to figure out which one of these are the turbo cars and which one of these are normally aspirated cars, because I know the turbos do not get off the line.
I can tell you Butler's in the turbo.
I do remember that, and by virtue of like same liveries, the other golden cartridge just went right live there. That is also a turbo. Oh, and getting physical.
Get him!
I could be wrong on this, but I believe Mr. Medeiros is also in the R52 in the Braun sponsored car.
I don't know why I don't pick the R52, the R51. Well, having the, normal non-turbo weaknesses is a much stronger car.
I hear the R52's power definitely lies in its top end.
If you get in the S51, you go 2 times the speed of sound.
Oh.
Can't argue with that logic.
Anyways, off the start, Martin Edmonds has taken the lead, so up from 3rd to 1st, ahead of Richard DeRoche and Magnus Sternby. Max Simons in 4th place, having dropped from 2nd. James Butler, Lucky Chop, had a good start, up to 6th. And
Castro is making his way through the field as he's already moved up to 7th place.
What are both the Red Bulls doing there? Richard DeRoche takes the lead. We have Waddell, Medeiros, and probably the man who got off to the worst start, and I'm assuming may have had some contact, Javi P at the back of the pack.
Illegal. Go to car jail.
Although it depends on, of course, if we are still having the prominent timing glitch that we were once having, and I'm pretty sure that we are.
If I recall correctly, Javi P had an off-track early in.
Magnus Sternby down the inside of Martin Edmonds, but unable to make the Red Bull on Red Bull pass happen. And that means that the Omega car of Richard Roche continues to lead from the Red Bull of Edmonds and Sternby.
Omega Supreme.
I love that Omega car. That's the livery I use in this time.
We do have a very strong top 3 going right now.
James Butler keeping up nicely. We know that he's one of the turbo-powered cars. Don't know about Simon.
Simon's is in the R51, same as me.
Okay. So it is all Cannard's R51s at the front with one turbo-powered car in the form of James.
Canards.
I see what you did there.
No Cougars allowed in this series, which I'm still a little bit
sexist.
Still a little bit puzzled about.
Total sexism.
I almost wish it was the other way around, honestly.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to yawn there. The Cougars are, of course, both turbo powered and therefore have a lot of the similar weaknesses to one another. Whereas, of course, the Cannards have a significant differential between the R51 and the R52.
Which has made for some interesting racing, though.
I think you get interesting racing with these just in general. They're a bit of a made-up car in the sense that they're not. In the sense that these are not real, but they are based on real cars. So there's
for sure
there's a reality to them. But that being said, that does mean that Raceroom got to kind of really just make kind of not perfect race cars, but cars that are definitely very solid at real combat without having to appease any licenses.
Absolutely.
Javi P cruising up to the back of Justin Kratz, so we'll see what happens there.
Put him in the wall!
And you are correct that we can tell from the silhouette which one is an R51 and R52. I'm seeing that James Butler's car is very much a hatchback, whereas the R51s appear to be saloons. So that'll be our. If it looks like it has a little bit of a trunk, it's an R51. If it doesn't look like it has a little bit of a trunk, it's a turbo-powered R52.
But what if it had a hatch front?
None of them do, but that would be interesting.
Would that be a Porsche?
I mean, I guess it's pretty close to being a Porsche, or like an old-style Volkswagen.
I mean, a Porsche and a Volkswagen. What's really the difference?
Somebody stepped on the Volkswagen, made it into a Porsche.
Very true. Price tag.
All right. Well, Magnus Sternby is kind of falling off the lead too, but not to the degree that he would not be able to, pick up on a mistake. He's got Simons on his tail. Butler's dropping off a little bit, and the guy who is trying to catch them is Mr. Castro. First name eludes me again. It's something David Castro, but I don't remember what the S stands for now off the top of my head. Javier Perez Torres on the chart. And whoa, getting a little bit squirrely there from Richard DeRoche. Squirrely Richard.
That's what I appreciate about him.
Nice.
Yes, it does not take long for these cars to start getting loose on you.
And there is another attempt from Javi. Well, I don't even know if it's an attempt or just a difference in line, but Javi is getting shovey.
Javi is getting definitely a little impatient back there. I could feel it in my rearview mirror.
Oh, and a spin from Magnus Sternby, and Martin goes for the lead, so it's a little bit of good and bad for the Red Bull crew. Oh, but Martin does not complete the overtake. Richard Roche may be keeping some speed off track there. Don't know.
That might technically be known as an undertake.
It might be. And Sternby slots back in 8th place behind Wayne Medeiros after his spin. That's a shame. Magnus returning to the ESR community after not necessarily a while away. He just doesn't necessarily have the schedule freedom to join our series.
Understandable.
Well, I mean, he does live 70,000 kilometers north of the Arctic Circle.
Yes. Don't Google it.
Do not Google that. Do not at me.
So Javi Perez Torres has gotten past Justin Kratz into 10th place. This is top 6 reversed. Am I correct in stating that?
It is correct.
All right. So, hey, pole right now would be for Lucky Chop. So possibly a bit of a career day for Mr. Chop in race 2 if he can parlay that into success.
I believe his mother calls him Luckman.
Luckman?
Not to spoil anything, but race 2 starts off pretty exciting. Not gonna lie.
Spicy.
Got a hot
It is
start.
spicy.
All right,
That's
so
a spicy start.
Battle of the turbo cars here. We got that is Robert Waddell in the gold car, and in the blue car Javier Perez Torres, both in R52s. So them and James Butler are R52s. I don't know if there are any others.
If there are, they are not present today.
Well, I meant on the track. I'm sure that there are others signed up. This was a very popular booking series. By the way, the 3D Speed series now open for business, although slightly glitched, unfortunately.
All cars will be flying.
Nothing can ever go entirely smooth to plan.
I'm sorry, what? All cars are monster trucks?
Yes.
No, that's if you follow Mike Stockmill's Mustang around Hockenheim. That's where you get the monster truck. It's all glitched out, so the tires are super huge. It's weird.
It's all those steroids.
It's called he just snuck in under the wire with like the old physics and got it counted on the leaderboard. He's very proud of himself. Max Simon's still on the charge here. He has caught up to the back of these two, but doesn't seem to have really enough to put the moves on. There is Lucky Chop in the Omega car. He's dropped back to 8th place, so he'd like to get back onto that reverse grid pole, which currently belongs to Wayne Medeiros. Wayne Medeiros was the other one we were theorizing is a turbo-powered car, and I believe it is from that silhouette, so there's another turbo.
These turbo prop like Cessna.
But the top 3 are all normally aspirated engines and looking for glory here in the anti-1980s F1 race.
Tune in again next week when we switch over to the flight sims and have F-15 races.
Oh.
I'll be here for commentary.
I think the F-22 sounds like a more entertaining.
I mean, that's possible.
Well, Martin going for the lead. Richard going wide. Richard, can he hold it? The answer appears to be no, but onto the straight we go, and Richard gets it back. Nice little hip check there. Richard DeRoche. No, this is my race victory, not yours. And it's loud. Max Simon's right up into it, though. Simon's might be the one to get it. This is an overtake reminiscent of Nicola Fucali in the Academy back in Season 1. And I think he got the job done. But Richard's got the inside line heading into the next one. He's given that up, though, to go outside defensive line from Simons, who will, I believe, hold the lead. Maybe, maybe not, maybe not. Can I get a side view? Can I see where the other car is, please?
Curse Richard.
Richard's got it, but Martin's still in there. Simon's dropping back to 3rd. This has been a bit of a cursed lead. People just don't lose one spot, they lose 2. And James Butler is just like, can all the non-turbo cars just kind of hit each other, and I will take the victory?
Yes.
He could only be so lucky.
I am not proud. I will accept the leftovers.
All is fair in love and racing, right?
Side by side. Oh, Edmonds and Simons coming slightly a blows there, and I think that may have given the race to DeRoche if he could just keep his nose clean here through the final turns. Lucky Chop still on the charge against Medeiros. Magnus Sternby has claimed race 2 pole position, I think, pretty comfortably. And we'll start on the front row with Mr. Castro. Richard DeRoche to the line to take race victory. Can Martin Edmonds hold off James Butler and Max Simons? The answer appears to be yes. So it is a podium of DeRoche, Edmonds, and Simons with Butler, Castro, Sternby, Medeiros, Chop, Waddell, Kratz, and what happened to Javi P? He's apparently like a minute behind, or is it
Javi P binned it.
Javi P. And me and Stockmill, we're going to offer Javi P a spot on our team. This was a thing we had in the works, and he's just not impressing us right now.
He beamed it like a beacon.
He posted in the chat later that he was apparently having issues with his wheel again.
Has he not resolved that? That's disappointing. He had that in the Academy race as well. It cost him one of the races. When his car just made an abrupt left-hand turn into the wall.
Dang.
I can only assume that he went too wide coming through a hairpin, but when I passed him, he was well into the gravel.
I mean, I don't know if you want to touch on this, Justin, but I mean, the admin for this race did not do a single legal lap. I'm just saying.
Whoa.
I mean, what are we doing here? What, is this the kind of example we're going to set for everybody else?
Fastest lap to Richard Durocher.
Disappointed, Lucky.
Indeed.
Punishment closet.
It is an all Red Bull front row. I completely didn't even realize that with Sternby and Castro.
Them some foreigners.
So the chances that Kristen Horner ends up happy off of this race are very high. It's just, it involves them not taking each other out.
Correct.
Also very interesting because Sternby and Castro are very much on the pace, so they may be able to actually retain that 1-2. We'll have to see. And of course, they're helped by the fact that it is a turbo car in third place of James Butler, who we know is not great off the line, and in fact is already being swallowed up.
I was about to say, it looks like he had a better start than he had in the first set of races.
Lost a spot to Simons, and just plowing into the back of Mad Max.
Little domino
action. Durocher in the mix there. Martin Edmonds in the mix there. A little bit of a wide line for Wayne Madeira. Oh, contact! Butler is spun around. That was by Martin Edmonds. It was Martin. It was Martin who did it.
What a scumsucker.
And in the meantime, Durocher battles with Simmons for the right to take the fight to the Red Bulls. And he gets the job done.
And that was the exciting start I had mentioned prior.
Indeed. So there's Sternby from Castro, Durocher, Simons, up to 5th place for Lucky Chop, and Wayne Medeiros up to 6th. So despite the bad start the turbos tend to have, Mr. Wayne Medeiros cleared it up to 6th place. So good job by him. James Butler and Martin Edmonds are at the back after their contact. And look who's in 7th place. It's Justin Kretz.
You can't
Justin Kretz.
He's got Javier Perez Torres on his tab.
A familiar story.
So let's see here. Who's the top turbo-powered car? I think it's Medeiros in 6th position.
I believe you are correct in saying that. Unless Simons is in a R52.
No, I think that's an R51 that Simons got. It's got that little bit of a back end.
It's got a little bit, just a little bit.
It's got that back. Well, I mean, really, actually, the turbos are the ones that really have the thickness.
That's thick with 3 C's.
Martin Edmonds overtaking Robert Waddell from 9th place there as he starts to make his way through. He is the last rated naturally aspirated car because the back two are both turbos.
But turbo is supposed to go faster because turbo.
There are downsides of being a turbo. That
lag.
What?
Lag.
Turbo lag.
We just have the turbo on all the time. What's wrong?
Also, there's weight consideration.
Expert level mechanic.
Generally being, little contact there between Castro and that is Durocher. Castro going super defensive here into this turn, which is a good move because there's a lot of really good overtakes in ESR history at this turn. So it's not enough, though. I think Durocher's got it around the outside. And indeed he does, moving up into 2nd place.
Now, we touched on this with last week's race, but the lineup for the tracks that we have in this series is really top tier, I think.
Nope, Max Simons butchers his way up the inside of Castro, and we'll see if Castro can get him back. I think he will. Indeed. And there is Wayne Medeiros with the overtake into 5th place of Lucky Chop.
Lucky Chop having maintained a steady mid-pack pace throughout all these races so far. Now, if we could see some more legal laps from him, that'd be great.
That'd be nice. And he's currently holding that reverse grid pole position, 6th place being the hot potato of this race. And yes, the track selection for this series is quite nice. I do think it will produce a lot of really solid racing. I think it's also quite easy with these cars because we talked about their advantages before. And in the meantime, Javi Perez Torres has slipped to the back of the pack again. Javi, what are you doing?
He's drunk.
I can neither confirm nor deny that statement.
Has he overtaken on the tequila, man?
Why's it gotta be tequila?
I mean, he is Mexican.
That's racist.
He is.
Oh, contact and Magnet. Oh no, that's Castro off. Too many Red Bulls.
Far too many.
Max Simon's getting into the back of him. It looked like kind of Castro was already losing it before the contact. I'd have to slow that down and really take a look.
That was a little risky of a track re-entry there.
A little bit, getting out in front of the battling turbos there of Butler and Waddell. Surprised to see Robert Waddell giving Butler such a hard time, actually. So it's good on him.
Waddell's been an interesting one to follow. It's almost like he's really quick, but not terribly consistent.
Could definitely be the case. I've not had a lot of experience with him myself. We seem to race very much different series.
Well, last I checked, I believe I was only a spot or two behind him in the leaderboards after just the first race, but I feel like he's got it in him to be faster than that.
There is race leader Magnus Sternby, who is really just race leader on the virtue of keeping it clean. I mean, he took the lead at the start, so obviously, shout out to that and everything.
Pretty comfortable.
But it's really been, there's been some people tripping over themselves for second place that's let him develop a lead of, I don't know what, because the timing, again, is glitched. And at one point there it said 8 seconds, and like a second later it was down to 5. So,
just take an average.
I don't trust that number.
Very cool, race director. Thank you very much.
S. David Castro on the attack against Justin Kratz here for 7th place as he continues his recovery drive after contact with Max Simons.
Plot twist, he's faster than me and gets the overtake.
Indeed, well, he's a Red Bull, sir. You just gotta suck down that can.
Yeah, absolutely. I really, hindsight, I picked the wrong livery.
Indeed, you didn't pick an energy drink company. That's terrible. You picked an oil company.
I did.
Has no advantages whatsoever.
Should have just put cocaine right on the car.
Welcome to cocaine racing. James Butler has gotten past Robert Waddell. Next on his list is Justin Kratz. We will see if that turbo can power him past the naturally aspirated vehicle.
Put him in the wall.
And Castro. Oh, we've lost somebody.
Whoa. Justin down.
Justin Kratz. We will hope he returns shortly, and until then, we will fill things with dulcet sounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Christmas season. I will be singing every single Christmas song in my head.
Go ahead.
I'm doing it right now.
James Butler on the attack against the car of Justin Kratz, and I think he's gotten past him here. Not really sure how. Kind of just zipped around the outside of him, so I think he may be a slight... Yeah, I'm thinking a slight mistake from Mr. Kratz as he is falling quite a ways back, actually.
But the Kratz came back the very next day.
He did. Well, we're hoping he comes back.
Indeed.
He has given me a message. His internet has died. We did kind of figure that.
Rip internet.
And,
that's what you get for living in a wasteland like Ontario.
Known as, I mean, we got generally good internet.
I don't hear that from you very often.
I can't really complain, to be honest. Like, we have largely the same options you do. My only problem is we don't have the fiber in my area.
Well, what a fucking shithole you must have.
That's more of a specific problem. Like, if I was at the other end of the city, I'd have
Yeah, apparently it's in my neighborhood, but my particular stretch of the street, it's more complicated to get it to houses. So it's like an ongoing thing.
Yeah, we have kind of that same problem. Like, if you go up like 2 intersections, you get into Fiber Town, but you also get into Houses Town. I'm in a weird spot where, like, I live in a townhouse, like, basically complex. Well, not townhouses, but like duplexes.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, you go up and there are like big houses, like 2 streets up, and it's like, man, talk about a wealth line.
Yeah. There's if I literally lived 1 block further, one way or the other, I could have fiber.
Oh, Magnus getting a little out of shape there, but still retaining his lead for the time being.
Majestic Magnus Sternby.
Indeed. Butler running in 8th place. Butler has still not managed to solve the riddle of Lucky Chop. And Chop is actually sticking with Castro as well, so Lucky Chop showing his base, showing what he's got.
But has he solved the riddle of steel?
I mean, I imagine not. I mean, he's a chopper, not a plasma torch.
Well, shit.
Magnus Sternby still in the lead. Pretty safe lead. He's on the last lap now. But he does still have Richard DeRoche and Max Simons in eyeball shot there. So he's got to keep it clean. That's really all he has to do. Doesn't need a fantastic lap. Just needs a clean one.
Giggity.
Indeed. Giggity. And that is Wayne Madero's still up in 4th place, so shout out to Wayne, doing a fantastic job here in race number 2 ahead of Martin Edmonds and David Castro. Lucky Chop, as stated, still holding on to that 7th place ahead of James Butler, and still hanging on to the back end of David Castro. So if Castro makes a mistake, that still could turn into pole position for race number 3. And we have the return of Justin Kratz.
The Kratz came back the very next day.
Butler going for the move!
And I have no idea where we are in the race anymore.
We are right over here.
We'll sync up back with you on race number 3.
Sounds like a plan.
We're on the last lap here. Butler has just overtaken Lucky Chop for 7th place. We'll see if Chop can make a comeback in the Omega car. The answer probably but no, as he gets a little bit wide there. But actually, Butler also makes a mistake, and the inside line is in favor of Chop. He's going for it down the inside. Can't make it happen right now, but he is close enough that he may have a chance here in these last couple of turns. Martin Edmonds is all over the back end of Wayne Medeiros, but I think he has run out of time, and the Brazilian will take home 4th position. Edmonds will have a very good starting position for race number 3, though, from P2. And Chop cannot get Butler, and again we will have an all Red Bull front row as the pole position goes to S. David Castro, head of Martin Edmonds on the grid. And, of course, behind Martin Edmonds in the race, looks like Javi Perez-Torres is out of this race as Justin Kratz and Robert Waddell cross the line. So I'm going to give you a countdown here, Byron, and we're going to pause it here once the results screen is off our screen.
Okay.
I will count down from 3 once that is done. There are your race results. No legal laps from S. David Castro. Shame. Shame. Terrible. These Red Bull cars, no respect to track limits. Just don't know what to tell you. Anyways.
They smell funny. Wait, that's when I punched. Oh, sorry. We're back. We're back. We're all synced up.
We're back, fam.
Yep, everything's fine. Nothing happened. You can't prove it.
I mean, we did admit it on air, so it's a little late for that.
You're gonna edit though, right?
I mean, I'm gonna edit things, but I can't.
Dude, I said all that racist stuff.
I can't edit the whole user has left the server part out without taking out all the audio.
Bruh.
Oops.
So yes, Justin had some internet problems. He is back. We are here for race number 3 of this all Red Bull front row for the 2nd race in a row. It's like deja vu.
Hacks. I call it cheating. Hacks.
Indeed.
Well, it also helps that 3 of the 6 fastest cars are all Red Bulls. So,
no.
There's some certain odds there. Wayne Medeiros is the turbo-powered car in 3rd place, so once again, the Red Bull should be able to battle in turn 1, and here we go. In fact, one of the Red Bulls in the background, Magnus Stern. Oh, God, Magnus! Oh, the humanity.
Some network issues. That's
the
only
humanity
thing I can assume. Because he blinked out of existence, and then he was in front of me.
Castro to the front of the pack. Well, not really to the front of the pack. He started there. Martin Edmonds in 2nd place. And Richard DeRoche up to 3rd already. So DeRoche continues his strong form. Max Simons to 4th. And Wayne Medeiros getting that turbo lag problem. And lines up back in 6th spot. And the man at the back is Magnus Sternby, who just tried to ritually kill it. Oh, God. Richard DeRoche says, Red Bulls, get out of my way. And then goes horrendously wide and draws back a bunch of spots. Martin Edmonds in the carnage picks up the lead over S. David Castro, who is getting into a shoving match with Max Simons. You don't get into a shoving match with Max Simons. He doesn't know how to stop having a shoving match.
He does not. So half the time either.
I have to ask, have we seen any R52s in the podiums between this week's and last week's race?
I think the best R52 result has been 4th place.
With Butler?
Well, we just saw it with Wayne Medeiros that last race.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
But, Butler as well. So, we've had one in 4th in both of the opening 2 races here. The top 4 are now all naturally aspirated. Now, mind you, that's not as much of an indictment of the car as it sounds, because without being offensive, please, gentlemen, don't take me this personally. The guys driving the turbo-powered cars are not what you would consider our S tier, our top division guys. And
they're no stock, man. That's what we're getting at.
Well, it's not even that they're not stock model. It's like you look at that top 4, for example, right now. Martin Edmonds, Div 1 driver. S. David Castro, Div 1 driver. Richard DeRoche, Div 1 driver. Max Simons, Div 1 driver and pace, just tends to not keep it clean, so he's Div 2. But then you look at, like, Wayne Medeiros, he's Div 2. James Butler's Div 2. Lucky Chop is Div 3. So, like, you know, we're very much in, like, a talent order here more so than a car. But
yeah.
There definitely is a case the turbo-powered R52s do not get on the line. So still in the lead, it is Martin Edmonds from S. David Castro. Red Bull 1-2. Simons back into 3rd place, having overtaken Richard DeRoche. I feel like that's going to be temporary. It seems like Richard's got a real, like, he's the man to beat. 1st place in race 1, 2nd place in race 2, back up into 3rd place here in race 3. I believe he's the only man who can go triple podium here, if I'm not mistaken. Simons might be able to. Simons the 3rd in race 1.
I can't either.
He might be looking for a 3rd podium as well. But we know that race 2 winner, for example, Magnus Sternby, he was 6th in race 1 and is currently 9th here, so obviously not going for the hat-trick podium.
Although, as you said, we have a very strong top 3. Castro and DeRucci in particular have both proven to be very, very competitive, especially in the last race. Oh, for sure. But I do believe it was DeRucci that went from not setting a qualifying time to finishing in 2nd place in the same race last week, or the week prior.
He did buzzsaw through the field with like a hot knife through butter, which I did a little bit of earlier today, making some lovely Brussels sprouts, which hopefully the family will enjoy.
Nice segue.
That's like, hey, no one else is going to talk about my cooking prowess. So, you know, like, oh, Richard is backwards and Castro's in the lead.
That's not the right way to go on the track.
Interesting there. Martin Edmonds. Bad day for the Canadians. They both fucked up that turn.
Magnus Castro in the lead. Edmonds
Magnus
Sternby
looking to take over a position there from Robert Waddell. And it is still a Red Bull 1-2. It's just the opposite Red Bull leading the way now.
Might I recommend that them Canadians fucking figure it out?
Figure it out. Can't just name a team Shamrockettes and expect women to like. You haven't gotten to that point of Red Letter.
I have not yet.
You need to get there. It's a whole like sub-season plot line with the female hockey players.
Dirty fucking Bengals, boys.
There you go. Magnus Sternby getting fought with here by Robert Waddell. Waddell's got a little fight in him. And in the meantime, we go back to the front here with the Red Bulls leading the way. And Martin Edmonds goes up inside into the lead. Nicely done. Max Simons is now inherited at podium position. In behind him will be
Julio.
Mr. Butler.
Definitely not Julio. That is James Boutelier.
Mr. Boutelier.
So there is Martin Edmonds now in the lead.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Butler was a former Academy student from Season 2, was he not?
We have a number of former Academy students in this series, although I believe Butler's the only one here today. Justin Kratz, of course, being current.
Indeed.
Max Simon's looking to make the
move. A little bit of contact there.
That is some aggressive driving from S. David Castro, which unfortunately is somewhat of a nationalistic tendency in the Argentines.
Do it. Go faster.
But I don't really know. I don't really know if you want to play bumper cars with Max Simons. He's mastered the art. And Javi Perez Torres appears to be gone, so that would have been the other current academy driver.
He disconnected during race 2, much like I did just now.
There you go. Simon's getting frisky with S. David Castro. Martin Edmonds is probably looking in his rearview mirror going, yes, let the hate flow through you.
Absolutely, I would. Let them kill each other. Just comfortably keep the lead.
All of this fighting is working out in his favor for sure. Richard DeRoche is up to 6th place, and his next target will be Wayne Medeiros. I don't know how close he is because of the stupid glitched out timing.
Correct.
The world may never know. Would you like a Tootsie Pop?
Still don't know what's causing that, unfortunately, so no idea how to fix it.
I don't think there's anything we could even do on our end, unfortunately.
It seems to afflict all computers, all servers, and hell, even tried some non-ESR servers. Still got the same thing.
I can confirm I was not that far behind the pack. I finished about 18 seconds behind. Thank you very much, Race Director.
Not a full minute.
No, not a full minute.
Pretty sure, yeah, at this point you'd be lapped. Because, I mean, minute 50? This is only like a, minute 47 lap.
Yeah, at pace.
Max Simon's going for it hard, can't get the job done. By the way, Martin Edmonds is not taking advantage. He is still very much in their crosshairs.
Mm-hmm.
Martin, you have to find the gas pedal and make sure it's going to the floor.
He has replaced the gas pedal with the poutine pump?
That's not a good plan.
I don't know. But let's quantify this.
From a speed standpoint, that's not a good thing.
I don't see your logic.
So we got probably one more full lap after this, I would think. And the battle is still very much joined between these three. James Butler having a really lonely day there in 4th place. He is taking the Turbo Cup Award, the reverse Jonathan Palmer Cup. For those unaware of that, Jonathan Palmer was a Formula 1 driver and also the father of another Formula 1 driver. And back in the day, he got to win a Formula 1 air quotes championship by being the top ranked non-turbo car. That was called the Jim Clark Cup, which I think he was the last and possibly only winner of, because I don't think they really bothered to keep it up after like one season.
There were no further recipients of this award?
I don't think so. I'd have to look it up to be sure. I was not alive during the events that I am reciting, so.
Yeah, if I was in charge of the of Formula 1, I would keep it up just for a meme.
Well, there's no engine differential at this point, so.
I don't care.
There was also the Colin Chapman Cup, which was the team's version of the Jim Clark Cup.
Jim Clark Cup, not as cool as the Dave Clark 5.
Jim Clark, a driver to remember in awe as a guy who died doing what he loved, driving really fast at hockey time.
Scruffy gonna die the way he lived.
Simon's on
one of the many
casualties
of the 1960s. Max Simons is putting the pressure on and looking for a way around. He's been very close. Oh, there we go! We got the mistake! Hip check!
That's not a nice thing to call Martin.
No, Martin is not involved in this. Oh, whoa.
Oh, my bad.
He just gave it right back to David Castro. That's not good. So Richard DeRoche, still on the tail of Wayne Medeiros, has not found a way around the turbo-powered car.
As we see Martin Edmonds pulling away at the very end of the race. Very comfortable lead. I think it's safe to call it.
I don't think he pulled away so much as Simon. Oh, Medeiros and Durocher contact on the last turn. And, okay, so yeah, Richard's not going to take advantage of that. And it is going to be Wayne Medeiros, 5th place ahead of Richard Durocher. Lucky Chap bringing it home in 7th place ahead of the last of the Red Bull cars, Magnus Sternby.
Lucky Chop and lucky number 7.
There's Robert Waddell coming across the line in 9th
also
place.
in a turbo.
Indeed.
And rounding out the top 10.
And the race. The Mobile One racing car of Justin Kratz.
At least, no matter what I did, it was a top 10 finish this race.
I think it was all top 10.
How was the 11th?
Exactly. Yeah, top 10s in all 3. There you go! Take it. Take it to the bank.
I will.
No legal laps for the second race in a row from S. David Castro. Someone needs to talk to that, man. There's a thing called track limits that we'd like to enforce here in the ESR community.
I believe that Evans will talk to him in the form of a penalty.
Javier Perez Torres finishes comfortably in the top 15.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
That is true.
All right, let me pull up the standings here and give everyone the quick rundown of the ESR Spec Racing Series. From Sundays. Here we go. Scoring detail. In the lead, it is Martin Edmonds, who was the top scoring driver from this round, actually. Richard Durocher in 2nd place, followed by S. David Castro, James Butler, Max Simons, and then the absent Leandro Carroll and Nahum Argentina. I don't remember what his name was on track, but he clearly has a different race app name. Rounding out the top 10, Magnus Sternby, Lucky Chop, and Wayne Medeiros. Next up
he's actually known as Mahum Chile.
Next up is Sepang. Grand Prix layout. Okay. That'll be fun and very, very long for a 10-minute race. I don't know. Don't know if I would have gone with that call myself, but hey.
From flow alone, I'll take the GP over North or South.
That's true. The North and South do not have good flow.
They don't loop back onto themselves very nicely.
No. You can definitely tell that you're driving on a track that was kind of like, we could take this giant track and turn it into another layout if you really, really wanted to.
Yeah, just pave another weird curved line that's kind of vague and nondescript right here.
Indeed. So, gentlemen, do you have anything final to add before I terminate the recording here for the Spec Series?
I did nothing wrong.
If you shave your balls but not your butthole, that is actually technically a mullet.
I'll go with it.
I'm gonna leave you all with that picture.
Good night, everybody.